Hey, you guys. So I wanted to come on here and just talk about my feelings of what is going on in America and in the world right now. It's basically like instead of them giving us black people real apologies, they're just hitting us with the "our bad, y'all." Like instead of saying "I'm sorry for" and taking actions and steps to prevent what caused the hurt feelings, what caused the detriment, instead of taking action to cancel out all of that, a bunch of these companies and a bunch of these people are just doing random stuff to make it seem like they're in solidarity with black people when they're not. So it's really the equivalent of, instead of apologizing, just being like, "Oh, my bad. Oh, I didn't even mean it like that. Oops. Whoops." Like, what? Excuse me? I don't buy that nobody knew that it was this bad. I don't buy that. Because if you ask, I feel like you could ask anybody of any race if they would rather be black and treated how so-called black people are treated in this country and in all over the world. If you ask them if they would rather trade places and be black, I guarantee you they would say no. I guarantee you they would say no. So how is it that nobody knew it was this bad? Like, George Floyd was not the first unarmed black person to die at the hands of the police on tape and have them get away with it. He's not the first. So all the protesting, all the different stuff that came about after the fact, it's good. It's definitely a step in the right direction. But what changed is my question. What sparked it to where now it's important when this stuff has been happening to us? This stuff has been happening to us. Why are you guys going in and trying to change these companies, these labels, these different things, but not changing the laws? Why would I care about Aunt Jemima not being black or Uncle Ben not having a black face on his label? Why would I care about any of that when those products aren't even healthy enough to be putting in my body in the first place? How does any of that benefit me? For a label and a company who's not even owned by black people in the first place, I don't care who you put on your label, because at the end of the day, it does not profit me in any way. How does that change my life? All this stuff that they're doing, it's like nobody asked for that. I know y'all saw them in them kente cloths taking a knee at the White House. The Democrats and all these other people sitting there taking a knee to show they stand in solidarity with black people. If you really stand in solidarity, change the laws. Arrest these people who you have all this documentation and all this proof of, who have killed unarmed, innocent people. Why are they still free? It's like they're just giving us a bunch of shit that we didn't ask for just to seem like they're doing something. And it's so annoying to me. It's so frustrating to me that I really haven't even recently been on social media that much, because every time I get on there, I get annoyed. I get so annoyed. Why would I care? Why would I care about any of this stuff? What does that do for me? Even them trying to make Juneteenth a national holiday. Why would I give a fuck about a holiday celebrating so-called independence and freedom of my people when I could walk outside my house right now, get shot and killed by law enforcement, and they would most likely get away with it? Why would you give me a holiday to celebrate freedom I don't have? And Juneteenth, if you really look into it and look it up, and I don't mean just Google search, I mean really find some different articles and find some books and stuff about Juneteenth, it has nothing to do with African Americans. Like, oh my gosh, it's just, It's like we're a joke to them. That's the feeling that I'm getting from everything that's going on. It's like we're a joke. Like black people are a joke to this country. Even for Disneyland, now I read today that Disneyland is supposed to dedicate a section of their theme park to the Princess and the Frog. Princess Tiana being the only black princess. Didn't that movie come out in 2009? If y'all ain't made her no section 11 years later, why make it now? If y'all ain't been saying Black Lives Matter, if y'all haven't been protesting and trying to do petitions and all this stuff, why do it now? I'll tell you why these companies are doing all this stuff now, because they don't want to lose the black dollar. Because so-called black people are not the minority, we are the majority. And if that wasn't the case, it wouldn't be so many companies trying to make sure they don't lose our business. I've never seen Amazon, I've never seen Netflix, I've never seen Hulu or any of these places say anything about the consistent murders, torture, and detriment of black people in this country. But now all of a sudden, all of them want to put on their websites and on their apps, Black Lives Matter. For what? What does that do for me? How do I know my life matters to you? How do I know that you're not just worried about my money when you haven't done anything to help us this whole time? Like, it's frustrating. Like, I could go on and on and on about it, but I won't. I'm just saying that it's just really not cool. If you're going to apologize to somebody, my concept just in life, I could care less about an apology in words. The best apology you could give me is changed behavior. How is there a law for Breonna Taylor, but the people who murdered her are still free? The people who murdered her are not imprisoned or not in jail or not charged with anything. How is the man who murdered Trayvon Martin still walking around living his life when this baby is in the ground because of him? Because of this man. It doesn't make any sense. So I could care less about these companies changing their labels, about people putting Black Lives Matter on their stuff. I could care less about any of that, because what are you doing in real life to make sure we feel safe, valued, appreciated, loved, and secured? Answer me that. Answer me that. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about, the different emotions and the different thoughts that I've been having on everything that's going on, because it's disgusting at this point. Like, I feel so disrespected by this country as a whole, by the world as a whole, and it's unfortunate and it's sad. But those are my thoughts. Take care, you guys.